Welcome back. We are in conversation with our guests here talking about Dhanteras, the kind of trends that is and what really seems to be looking now going forward in future. Vikas, let me begin with you. And yes, it's the time that we've seen real estate gain. We've seen equity markets run up. We've seen gold and silver do quite well. I understand we are in a world of uncertainty and perhaps tangible commodity like gold and silver, especially something where we're talking about de-dollarization or we're talking about global central banks buying at record levels as well. All of that really seems to be supportive. But going forward, what would you say has changed per se in India, where you have all age levels actually buying into gold and silver? And what's your outlook now until next Diwali?
So Manisha, I'll take it on two counts. I think the one big change which has happened after almost a couple of years of conversations with the government is the reduction in customs duty earlier this year. I think what the government has done is really path-breaking. We never anticipated customs duty coming down from 15% to 6%. That is like phenomenal. Now, with a decision as bold as that, in one stroke, I think the entire menace of the grey market has got addressed. And that informal demand has come into the formal sector, which is a benefit for the national exchequer. So I think that's one thing really, from a regulation point of view, has been a big shot in the arm for the sector. I think the other piece that we would look forward to, and that's a conversation we've had, multiple times in the past, is if the government at some stage opens up, the export of 24-karat gold, if that can happen, then India truly becomes a precious metals hub, which is truly the vision that everyone carries within the government and also within the sector. So I think this can make a big change. Besides this, which is the other side, which is more from a behavioral side, is, the realization that we need to have a diversified portfolio. I think since COVID, there has been a constant advice that you need to bring in at least a 10% commodities exposure, which is precious metals exposure into your portfolio. We now see that materializing, and which is where, therefore, the so-called young adults, millennials, Gen Z, as you would like to describe them, are actually actively, buying gold and silver. If you see the crowd behind me just now, you will actually see the profile is what you were speaking about, Manisha. So it's good to see that this, this habit to invest, in a diversified way and also specifically precious metals is coming in well. And we think this bodes well from a demand in the future point of view also.
Oh, well, absolutely. Sachin, what's your sense? What really needs to change even from here on? We are very bullish. The way the markets really seem to be opening up, the government has been supportive. So has been the case with rules and regulations as well. But when you look at the next 1 year until next Diwali, where do you see these markets?
I think, Manisha, over the last few years, and not just the last few months, the steps that the industry has taken and along with the government, of course, there was a custom duty reduction that Vikas touched upon, but also very fundamental changes like hallmarking are showing results now. The deficit that the consumer had on trust with our industry is reducing, and hence the confidence is much higher. There's also a surge of organized play that's coming in. So all these things are current. Now, what I see into the future is also more financialization, and I think on all the consumer surveys that we do, the younger audience, and while on one side we talk about their lifestyles are changing and hence accessorizations are changing and so on and so forth, but also there are a bunch of a cohort which is very financially savvy. And I foresee that in the coming time, the jewelry and the financial side will merge a little bit in some ways. But I also foresee that, the sheer fact that the way gold is performed has also acted upon how they're consuming gold. And I foresee that, again, into the coming years, more digitalization, more reach and talking their language in their sense will help. I also foresee that, products like ETFs, which are phenomenal products because not everybody like on the street knows that when you buy an ETF for, let's say, 1 gram, it's stored back or physically backed by the same weight of gold. I think those things, as they get popular, will only intensify the consumption, or at least the openness to consume gold, not as a traditional asset, but really as a current, contemporary, I would even say cool asset to have. And I think that's what we all have to do.
Oh, absolutely. Nirav, I want to come back to you and talk to you about jewelry yet again here, because we have seen industry change. And as Sachin just said, there's been hallmarking, there's been certification, there's a lot of self-purchase now. And when people are buying it for themselves, they buy the best. And that really has changed the market, and you want to buy different things. You want to buy designs that haven't been worn before. How have you seen that? And would you say going forward, it really is going to be about designs, consumer, on, how the consumer is treated, the whole experience, that also is something that seems to be getting up?
So over the past few years, the industry has really transformed. It's really matured, and there are so many different things that have come, like hallmarking, which Sachin mentioned. There is so much emphasis on good designs, more organized players coming into the space, the trust and transparency that we are offering to the end consumer. So it's really been transformational. And this has brought about a real confidence into this product. Along with that, the gold prices and silver prices, which have been really rocking over the past few years. So the consumers, be it any age, young millennial, Gen Z, or even the older bracket, they're all looking at this industry in a very different light. And because of that, I'm seeing a very different euphoria into this industry from the supplier side, the organized player side, as well as the consumer side. And I see very good times ahead for this industry going forward. All the type
Nirav,
of
let
jewelry
me ask you, Nirav, if you were planning your next year, what is in your Nirav's notebook? What are you planning for the next year?
So we are really planning to expand our manufacturing capabilities to catch up with the supply, the demand that is there, and to match that in our supply. So we are very bullish on our space.
And what are you pushing forth with, Nirav? Is it gold jewelry? Is it silver jewelry? Is it diamonds? Is it lab grown? What is on priority?
So we are into diamond jewelry, and we are very bullish in diamond jewelry space also in India, because there's so many new stores opening up. The organized players are really ramping up their capacities very fast. I think at least 1,000 to 1,500 new shops, new jewelry stores are opening every year. And that is really a massive demand that is there. And I'm sure they are all selling very well. That's why they have such robust plans to open more and more stores.
Yes, everybody I speak to has big plans going forward, increasing their footfall. I mean, increasing their the whole works really. This one is to you, Suvankar. What is your plan now going forward with the way the market really seems to be expanding, with the way you're looking at so many buyers coming in, and what are you looking to plan now for the next 1 year?
So see, the store openings that have been scheduled, after the Dhanteras season is over, we will have 7-8 stores in the pipeline. So that should be one of our plans. The expansion into the smaller towns and cities through the franchising model, because there are a lot of potential investors who are willing to take a franchisee, be a part of the brand, of the journey, and take the product and designs forward to the consumer. So that is one part of the plan. We focus on everyday wear, lightweight jewelry, and especially diamond jewelry. I think that is very, very important with the gold prices going up. And I think World Gold Council had predicted it much before that it will be on the upside. So therefore, 14 carat, 18 carat, government is thinking of 9 carat jewelry as well. So 9 carat jewelry with diamonds and other precious, semi-precious stones. I think those will be very important. Design and innovation, continuously coming up with new ideas. I think that will be something that we need to continue to keep the new generation attracted to the industry.
Oh, well, absolutely. There was a time we would say that youngsters do not buy gold and silver. They would rather buy gadgets or go for vacations. But that clearly seems to have changed in the last 1 year. We have seen all age groups actually come in and start investing in gold and silver and various forms of it, by the way. And there's digital and ETF and bars and coins and jewelry of various kinds as well. So we look forward to all of that. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us. With that, it's a wrap on this Dhanteras special. We wish you a very, very happy Dhanteras and Diwali and festivities going forward. Thank you so much for watching, and we wish you all a very happy Diwali as well.